Raj Mandala theory into Indian context today. Raj Mandal, if you understand, I'm sure all of you already know it. Mandal is a group of friends. And Chanakya said your neighbor cannot be your friend. So neighbor's neighbor cannot be friend of your neighbor. Therefore, the neighbor's neighbor is your friend. If your neighbor is your enemy, neighbor's neighbor is his enemy, your enemy's enemy is your friend. And therefore, if you draw circles around India or circles around your own home or society here, your neighbor is your natural contestant, enemy. So if today's context, if you see China, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, all around these countries, however small or big, doesn't matter. They are your neighbors. And there have to be constant problems of migration, resources, assets, and interest, because of which they are likely to contest. You cannot call yourself to be a big brother. No. It's a sovereign nation. Size doesn't matter. And therefore, to manage a neighbor, you really have to have big heart and you really have to have a great diplomacy. I can see the revival of this Mandala theory in the present context. When you see your efforts are there to manage all the neighbors. You go to the circle 2. Circle 2 in green, as you see, are the lines of countries that are likely to be your friends. So, if Pakistan is your enemy, go one step west. All countries surrounding Pakistan, touching, are your natural friends. And therefore Afghanistan. And therefore part of Iran. And therefore part of, say, Central Asian republics. You go north and northeast. China, Mongolia is your natural friend. Russia is your natural friend. East, Myanmar, so Thailand, Cambodia, all these become your natural friends. You go to the next line, third line. Your Ari is enemy, Mitra, Ari Mitra, Mitra Mitra. So when you go to the third line, these are the neighbors of your friends who are their enemies and therefore your natural enemies. And therefore you really have to have diplomatic efforts, Shadagunya, to manage excellent relations with them. And therefore, if you go around towards Iran, Iraq, Central Asian republics, Koreas, the lines of Thailand, Laos, all these areas and part of Philippines, etc., if you take the ocean as well, they are your natural enemies. And you really have to make efforts so that we maintain good relations and your friends take advantage of this. And if you further go beyond, you find that next line is your green line. They become your friends. And you can keep extending it around the globe. Americans called it net assessment. American forces are being taught Raj Mandala theory in Pentagon to their defense officers. This is what they have driven. The net assessment exercise by Americans is nothing more than this. When they do internal assessment, external assessment of what we call their politics, social, and so on. Chanakya identified Madhyama.
2 minutes.
Great, thank you, sir. He identified Madhyama and Udasina. Madhyama is a country in middle distance and a powerful country. Udasina is a country which is very far off and a very powerful country. Which are these countries in our context today? You can say China, though a neighbor, but a very powerful and a huge country. You can say Russia is one. You can say in the area around, I don't find any other large country in this context. But a little farther if you go, you'll find that some of European countries can become part of Madhyamas. Udasina can be Russia, America, Australia. Some of these countries can be Udasina. And if your diplomacy is good, these countries should become your friend. Now just put 2 and 2 together. Russia was your traditional friend. America is now becoming friend. Why? Raj Mandal, Rajao ka Mandal. The way he's designed and said today is so absolutely relevant in contemporary times.